These shipping container homes have won awards for improving the lives of vulnerable families because they provide innovative, groundbreaking modular temporary accommodation. The same residents are now begging to leave. Residents pay £370 a week for these homes, and it's not just this estate. Just 30 minutes away, another container home development is plagued with the same problems. On the surface, these homes are an obvious step up from the hostels, bed and breakfast, and shared accommodation. Families were finally going to have their own home with their own front door, bathroom, and kitchenettes. Plus, they would also have shared laundry rooms, management offices, and communal landscaped areas for their children to play. But the problems of mould, overheating, cockroach infestation, and antisocial behaviour seemed insurmountable, so residents took matters into their own hands. Both estates have now been decommissioned, and all residents have been moved into other temporary housing. Are shipping containers just not meant to be homes? Why have we been so obsessed with using shipping containers? Homes, boutiques, food trucks, home offices, even swimming pools. It is a very alluring concept, saving enormous, lonely, sad shipping containers from the landfill. But I think we're truly starting to see what these containers are like practically. Containers are made of maritime-grade Corten steel, really durable and weatherproof, but inherently energy inefficient. It conducts heat and cold quickly, so it's really difficult to regulate the temperature inside. Modifying containers to make them livable requires extensive modifications that can actually increase the cost, energy usage, and carbon footprint. Once you've cut into the walls of the container to create windows and doors, you also take away the one biggest advantage, its structural integrity. But you need windows and you need doors, so now you have to spend even more money to reinforce the container structure. We love recycling, upcycling, and rescuing things from the landfill, but more often than not, used shipping containers are in really poor condition and require sandblasting. You don't ever really know what has been transported in these containers, so it's safer to treat it so you don't risk exposure to harmful chemicals. Doesn't that just sound like a faff? That's why so many people just end up buying them brand new. So maybe they're not necessarily the cheaper and greener option to traditional building methods, but that's fine. People can still convert containers for their personal projects. But was it ever possible that they'd work on a larger scale? So we looked outside of London. The one in Brighton worked so well that they extended their 5-year lease twice. It's also worked well in Bristol, Amsterdam, Gothenburg, Ghana, and several other cities in the US. I think this is the point where it gets a bit awkward. How did we go so wrong? The concept clearly works, so why did this container estate fall so far from grace? Was it the inherent flaws of using a shipping container as a home, or was it a failure to implement the supporting systems? Or both? Naturally, a lot of anger is directed at the councils involved, and that's understandable, but this comment from a spokesperson seemed to indicate that an even bigger issue is at play here.
We are sorry to hear about residents' experiences told to the LDRS and are concerned about the quality of accommodation at Meath Court. We are seeking to deliver additional high-quality temporary accommodation solutions as fast as possible. But like most other London boroughs, we have a chronic shortage of housing and we are facing a temporary accommodation emergency, with the market for temporary accommodation in London being completely broken. The council has also seen an increase in the number of households who are in urgent need of support with their housing, thanks to the cost of living crisis. In the last year, we have seen an increase of over 50% in the number of households needing emergency B&B accommodation. That's an additional 100 households. While we always seek to support residents in need to the best of our ability, the council is not able to keep up with the demand for emergency accommodation and is now under extreme pressure.
So here's what we've gathered. The success and failures of these large-scale development projects often comes down to a few factors: climate considerations, government support, and most crucially, successful projects invest in proper insulation, ventilation, and design adaptations. The story of shipping container homes is one of high hopes and harsh realities. I think we all really want this idea to work, and it's sad that we live in a society where vulnerable individuals and families are being put in homes that are giving them more grief than help, especially when we have so many vacant homes scattered across the capital. The lesson from this container home estate is clear. Whilst architectural innovation is great, no housing projects can truly succeed without the necessary support systems in place.